Is it? Marku, we got Marku in the chat here. Hey, Marku.
Oh, of course, yes. As usual, me, the Trym, is not a technical genius like the Basic or Discordia. I forgot to click the fucking go live button. So allow me to restart the introduction. Hello, everyone. I did it so well the first time too. Damn it.
I know, it was awesome.
Oh, I was so professional. Anyway.
You fucking nailed it.
It was not meant to be.
Now.
But here's number 2, the botched edition. Welcome, everyone. This is your boat troll Trym, who's not on the boat yet. I'm joined with my fellow artistic friend, the spray paint master, Total Blackout Painting, also known as Dave. Now we're on our second part of our second art collab, where he has made this downright beautiful background, which I'm not going to show in its glory. Behold. This one right here, and I am now going to give it a something to fill the void, so to speak. And we already have a little bit of an idea where to go with it. So, let's just dive right into it while we just talk smack.
There you go. Hey PK, hey Marku. It's good to see you guys.
Hello everyone, nice to see you again. Yeah. You made a Star Wars night?
No, I made a night on my stream this last Friday. So I used the Bing AI to generate a night stencil for me, and I posted some in the Sultan's Discord. To varying results. That Bing AI is really, I mean, it's like all the fucking image AIs that are cheap ones. They're the free ones.
Yeah.
It's a varying quality.
Really hit and miss, huh?
So I found a few that were like, that looked okay, and then I just fixed them. I used paint.net to modify and like make my stencils and shit, so nothing fancy at all. So I just touched them up in there and then made a pretty dope night stencil, I thought, and made a painting with it. I made actually another painting with it yesterday, but I ended up using, like, I fucked up the stencil because I ended up using too much paint around it and it huddled under the stencil. So yeah, I got a little messed up there. A little carried away trying to get the full coat, but you know, I still have the stencil. And on the plus side of that, like, the more I use those stencils, like, the more they get coated and the stiffer they are, so they work better.
Yeah.
So.
Unlike a chef knife, because that goes bad if you don't use it properly.
Right.
Do you know what fruit or vegetable, depending on person, is the worst thing for your knife's edge?
Pineapple is what I thought.
No. Tomato.
No? Really? Now, explain.
The tomato, the juice of the tomato eats away at steel edges.
You know, that makes perfect sense.
Yes, which is why you always should use you know, on the underside of your porcelain plates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have that ring which hits the table when you put it down.
Mm-hmm.
You can use that as a porcelain knife sharpener. So every time I cut tomatoes, I use a knife on that.
I see. You just what the fuck do they call it? I can't even hone it. You just hone your knife on the back of a fucking plate after you're done cutting tomatoes and shit.
Yep, it is cheap and effective as hell.
Right, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. I do it on almost all the knives I have, like, at least once a week, just to make sure that they're nice and sharp.
Right. Well, that's like kind of, I guess that's kind of like a thing to do in kitchens, is because you fucking spend so much on ingredients that you have to make sure that your equipment lasts longer.
Yeah.
Right? So, got to get the most out of your equipment. I can see that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's pretty much just a good thing for every day too. If you have a knife, just drag the edge slightly, you know, on a tilt over it. You'll get the hang of it after a few times. Just make sure you don't fucking cut your own fingers, is all I'm saying. Well, if I can do it without cutting my own fingers, then anyone can.
I might have to, well, I would say all of my knives I have are garbage, so.
Oh yeah.
I buy cheap knives because fucking I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm cooking, but I'm not like doing any fancy cooking and anything. So.
I mean, the thing is, if you have a dull knife, that is how you cut yourself. You don't cut yourself on properly sharpened knife. It is the dull knife because you have to use unnecessary amount of force. Yes, unnecessary amount of force. Then the knife slips, and that's when you cut yourself. We literally had to teach an apprentice this because he tried to be like, no, it's not. It's good. And then like, no. If you continue that way and cutting like that, everyone here knows you're gonna cut yourself. Everyone just responded yes.
You should just start putting bets on it is what you should do.
Actually, we started to do it, and that's when he understood that we were serious. Because I betted 500 kroner immediately. And the other one was like, I'm betting against that.
What's the exchange rate there? Is it 10 to 1?
10 to 1?
Is that what it is? Or what? I guess what's the exchange rate between Swedish crowns or Swedish kroner and Norwegian kroner?
Last time I checked, Norwegian kroner is above the Swedish kroner with like öre, a few öre, which is essentially our cents.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's.
But
really...
so it's about the same. So it's roughly like 10.
Yeah.
So it
varies greatly from like year to year. Sometimes the Swedish kroner is stronger. Sometimes the Norwegian kroner is stronger. But
so that's like $50 though. Just threw down $50 on that. That's legit. Like, I bet $50 that this idiot's gonna cut himself.
Yeah, basically.
And everybody else was like, oh shit, yeah, I'll do that. And he's like, wow, these guys are willing. They're putting down real fucking money on me cutting a finger off. I better fucking stop being an idiot.
That's how he actually said. And then he stopped you. So then he went to fucking. Then he started sharpening his knife.
Thanks, PK. 12 crown.
Yeah.
That was pretty close.
The Norwegian crown is between 10 and 11, depending on situation. Again, the fucking crown is fluctuating more than fucking Bitcoin at this point.
Or at least you're not gonna cuck to the EU, to the euros on it, you know.
I don't want to get into that. This is a solid thing. Jesus. Oh, don't get me started on EU. Let's see. Yeah, so kind of this is where we're going so far. Yeah, so as you can see, this dude has no face. Instead, this is the face.
You can do like that same green void you did for the mouth of the fucking other monster for his face, like have him kind of like a plasma void on his face.
That might be. Yeah, something along the line.
Yeah.
You know, seeing the whole stream thing going there, right? Ethereal waves within a dome.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Fuck it, we're doing that. Let's see. Now.
When did that shift, PK? That must have been just recently that it went to 12 from 10.
Yeah, again, that shift happens like almost once a month.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Again, the kroners aren't really that strong. The euro, not really. It's been, over the last few years, the euro has been growing stronger. But before, like 2 years ago, 1 euro was like 10 kroner. Now it's like 12.
Yeah.
The dollar.
Well, and the euro used to be. So euro used to be stronger than the dollar. I don't know if it still is or not, but
it is stronger than the dollar, actually. It is.
I mean, which kind of makes sense. There's far more varied economies in like Europe. There's a lot more of a variance in the economy across the EU than there is in like in the United States.
Among other things, I don't want to start talking about
here. Yeah, I was gonna say. We'll get on the subject. Yeah.
Palpatine, what?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Star Wars.
Oh. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Let's see, so I'm thinking about letting the, as you can see, the loincloth here to come from the teeth instead of teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has a real corn vibe to it, like a 40k corn vibe.
Yep.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I have a model that has like a meaty skull on its chest like that. I mean, of course, it's corn, so it has blood flowing from the eyes and mouth too of the of their actual face.
Yeah, because corn is edgy 80s drawn to its logical conclusion.
Oh yeah, man, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I love it in its own corny way, dude. It's beautiful.
Well, I just love how it's just unabashedly like, fuck you. Like, blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.
And Slanesh is just horny all the fucking time.
Yeah, that's... I can't get behind the constant degeneracy, but...
Let me just put it like this. I'd rather take fucking Nurgle than a Slanesh because at least then I have a chance of being somewhat happy with my situation, while Slanesh is the emptiness of Hollywood, essentially.
Right. I would go for Nurgle one at night, 10 days out of 10.
Yeah, I mean...
It'd be horrible and falling apart, but I would be thrilled that I'm doing it the whole time.
Yeah, you'll be
just
eternal at your weakest, but at least it's...
Well,
the people are deluded enough to be happy, while Slanesh will never really reach a peak that they're always chasing. Khorne will be a bunch of mindless savages. And Siege... Well, you're always gonna get fucked over by Siege, regardless.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if I don't know if I would describe you as a Nurgle as your weakest, because if you can grow like a giant claw arm from your chest, I don't know if I would call that weak.
No, the thing is, as a person, because the thing is, Nurgle yeah, he is stagnation, and you stagnate at your weakest. Of course, you can rise in power, given if you become like some kind of greater being through Nurgle, but it will not be as you. Again, it's a lot of questions you can ask about that, and it's a really interesting
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to get down to it, the best faction, if you had to be a part of a 40k faction, would just be the Tyranids.
Yeah, the Nids are fucking metal.
That's all you're gonna... It's like, you're eventually going to win. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a matter of time. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Siege is he's too OP. The thing is, Siege is the worst one, because regardless what he does, he always self-nerfs, he always ruins himself. Many people like, oh, he does it to some kind of great grand plan, but it is just bullshit, because Siege has no real power because he's a victim of his own abilities. That's why I don't really view Siege as some kind of powerhouse. Many people are like, oh yeah, Siege is so OP that he nerfed himself. No, it is not that he nerfed himself by his own will, it is because of his nature.
Yeah.
Because if he ever remains the strongest, he will never, nothing will change. So he nerfs himself out of... It is not out of will. The Chaos Gods have no will. They're just...
Oh, they're kind of the embodiment of their aspect of the will, so they are not free to choose anything aside from it. They're slaves.
Yes, they are slaves to the very aspect that births them. Khorne cannot be anything but a parody of a noble warrior. A parody of the noble warrior. The noble savage, essentially. And Khorne will never be able to evolve past that because he is just that. Of course, he's insanely powerful and has a lot of abilities, but still, he will never truly have the ability to evolve. And that's the most part of the Chaos Gods too.
Well, but that's the inherent nature of a god itself, though, right? It's like a god that is static. A god doesn't change, because if a god changed, then they would cease to be absolute.
Yes.
Right, and the absolute aspect is what makes them a god. So
it's not just the absolute aspect. It is more that their ability to be more than what they are. Again, the Chaos Gods are not really gods. They're just parasites.
Well, they're aspects of the warp created by the warp.
Yeah, but no, parasites. Essentially, just semi-sentient parasites.
But PK has a good point here, is that the Tyranids just got the munchies. The hive mind smoked the warp lettuce. That's kind of true. Like, the Tyranids are just really, at the end, like, they just want to chill with their boys and have some snacks.
Yeah.
They just want to hang out and fucking have some snacks and, the snacks are you and your family and everything you love. Oh, late and gay.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
they stay.
Of course, Bay State is slightly gay. But that's just Bay State, and that's what we care about. But the thing is, the happiest faction in Warhammer 40k is the Orcs.
That's the Orcs.
Yes, regardless what happens, there's always war, there's always fighting, and that's what the Orcs need.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're mushrooms, right? Like, and mushrooms, unless you find the really bad ones, are always happy.
Yeah, that's also the secret. They're always on that good warp stuff because they don't have to get it. They don't have to smoke the lettuce. They are the lettuce.
Yeah, that's really true. I just really love the psychic aspect of everything they do too. That's pretty, but like that's a pretty like they're like an embodiment, like a living trip, a living psychedelic trip.
Yes.
Like, whoa, man! Have you ever seen like a purple orc?
No,
like,
dude.
Oh, man.
And then they just hear behind them, "I'm right here, man, bro. I can't see you."
Whoa, dude. Yeah, you're right. They're just looking at the wall like a cuddle puddle. They just want to hop in. Like, really, that's right. The orcs are misunderstood. They're really just fucking really violent ravers.
Yeah, that's every fucking know. Oh man, they just took peace and love to the opposite direction.
Right.
No, dude, it's like we're like proper hippies, man.
Man, these guys are just trying to harsh our mellow. We're gonna fuck them up.
Come on, dude. Like, all we want is like totally Dhaka, bro.
Fucking surfer orcs. That would be hilarious.
Oh, come on. You know there's a
dude.
You just know there's a fucking freebooter orc somewhere out there who's surfing on a fucking shell of a cannon because he can. Look at this, dude. Totally. Surf's up, dude.
Oh, really? Bass says the music's really loud. I'm not listening to the audio.
Alright, I'm going to... 2 seconds.
Yeah, it is pretty loud. Actually,
Alright,
now that I turned it up. There we go.
Do you hear any difference?
Let me see.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it sounds a bit better now.
Much better.
I have man, one of my homies got me the new who is it? The Lord Invocatus, and I just need to put it together and paint it.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking rad.
Oh, by the way, the greatest fucking tragic love story in Warhammer 40k is Commissar Yarrick and Gaskell Maguruk Thraka. Like, Agron fucking kills Commissar Yarrick, and what does Gaskell do? Oh no, he launches a fucking grand crusade, because that's what a WOG is, a religious grand crusade, right? Yeah. All in the name of fucking killing Angron.
I don't know. Maybe he just really to see now. Here we go back again. He launched a grand rave in order to party down with Angron.
Yeah,
he thought he really needed to party with him.
Yeah, because Angron killed his previous fucking partner. Like, dude, he like brought the best parties. Like, so I guess you gotta be the one to like throw the parties now, bro. Show us your moves, man. Oh.
Fucking orc. That'd be hilarious.
I mean, honestly, they're the best faction in Warhammer. It's no nonsense. So much better than a fucking blueberry communist known as Tau. God, I hate the Tau.
Fucking fish commies.
Like vagina faces. That tells you all. I mean, at least the male feminists would be happy. What?
Like they kind of like the Tau, the way I look at the Tau, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know too much about them canonically in the lore, but when I look at the models, I'm like, this is just a way to get fucking Robotech people interested in Warhammer.
Basically, but also they're meant to be this, you know the whole concept of Sauron's evil, right? He looks fair, but it's truly evil of heart.
Right.
That is the original concept of the Tau. They look fair, but in honesty, they are some of the most evil fucking creatures out there, because they are They're like the Chinese, the CCP. You don't do what they say, they throw you at the fucking camps, dude. And if you don't do it exactly the way you want it, you go to the camps.
Well, yeah, they're communists.
Yeah, they're the worst. Basically, they're the worst kind of authoritarianism.
Right.
Orcs are essentially anarchy. Well, Tao is the Tao. I mean,
realistically, they would have to be a fascist society, because if they were a communist society, they never would have reached that level of technological advancement.
They are a fascist society.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. They're not like a collectivist utopia. They're an authoritarian dictatorship.
Yeah, but that's
really what it is.
That is the end point of all communism, though. All communism becomes fascism. It is just a natural evolution.
Well, so now I think that everything tends toward authoritarianism, which is really the problem.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if we're realistic about it, like any on paper, and in absolutely no way in practice, but on paper, any form of government can be instituted in a non-authoritarian fashion, right? It just takes the consent of the governed to do so. Now, of course, in many of that shit flies directly contrary to actual human nature.
Yep.
That's why you can't, like, you can't force communism, because it is absolutely like the worst aspects of contrary to human nature. So, but on paper, yeah, it looks great, which is why we get all these
it's nice, but it just
moronic
doesn't work.
College students thinking it's an awesome thing to do.
Yeah, because hey, free stuff, bro.
So.
Totally like free stuff, man. Everything is free there. Yeah, have you ever heard about taxes? You dumb fucker.
Well, it's really, everything's free when you're not paying for it, right?
Yeah.
Which I'll demonstrate this. It's a good way to put it. I'll put it this way. So one time, I had a buddy over, and I offered to buy pizza, and my son was like, "Ew, I don't want that kind of pizza." And my homie was like, "Hiram, it's free pizza. You don't turn free pizza down." And I just turned to him and I was like, "Dude, to him, all pizza is free pizza."
Oh.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's why." It's like, right, because he's entitled. He feels entitled to that fucking pizza, because he's gonna get the pizza regardless, right? And that's how a lot of these spoiled fucking blue city liberals are, right? Like, they just feel like they're owed these services, they're owed these things, and that by extension they can give them away to other people. Right, like by extension, they can give away the largesse of the government to other people without the consent of the other people who fucking gave it to the government.
Yeah, it's just cancerous at this point. It's worse than that. It's fucking parasitic.
It is. Well, and here's the thing about it, and I guess we'll get a little political just for a second, though. Here's, I guess, my supposition on it.
Spicy political, I'm okay.
Right. No, yeah. So my supposition on this is that, well, for the longest time, and this is a real big talking point for leftist people, is that, the blue cities are, hey, Maureen, the blue cities, they're like, the blue states are the ones that are feeding the rest of the country. They're the ones that are supplying. Like, they say California is a net benefit. Like, it's a huge economy on its own. But that's not going to last for too much longer.
No.
Right, like, and realistically, the only places in those blue states that are, it's the only reason the blue states like Seattle and Oregon and California are so profitable right now is, well, one, because they're ports, but two, because they're tech centers, right? And those tech centers are going to they're already divested. They're already moving to other places, right? Yeah. And when it becomes so and like in San Francisco, people don't want to fucking live there because it's a dystopian hellhole.
I mean, when people start taking a shit on the street, that is already a sign that you're living in a failed society. Because when nobody fucking respects the well-being and just the area around them, then it's failing.
I could say something spicy, but I will not.
Please don't.
Let's say something spicy about the H-1B workers, but I will not.
No.
I will refrain
if
from.
Peach has been here and you mentioned New York, you would just I think it would involve something with glass. Not that I disagree
Yeah.
in some terms, but for political
But I mean,
things,
like,
come on Saturday to something so shadowly.
right? But like Google can't maintain the level of expenditure in those areas that it has.
No.
And mostly because it's going to just divest it, like Silicon Valley, right? They're living on foreign investment. Exactly right, PK. They're California. And so as soon as those tech centers stop making so much fucking money, those states are going to become giant sinkholes in the economy.
I mean, just look at what's happening to Disney already. I mean, they've made themselves an enemy of their state, first of all, but secondly, right, they're really starting to lose every kind of hold they have because they've abused their name, and now it's like, okay, now we actually need to make quality things, but people don't trust us anymore. Fuck.
Oh, dude. Disney's been pumping out shit and exploiting their garbage since the fucking since the straight to DV trend in the 80s.
Straight to fucking DVD movies were at least something. Despite it being absolute shit, at least the Black Cauldron had some interesting pieces to it.
Oh, I saw Black Cauldron in the theater, man. I loved that fucking movie. I understand that people didn't like it. I don't understand why people didn't like it. Well, probably because they're stupid Disney dipshits, and it's like one of the least Disney movies that they released at the time.
Maybe it is because they didn't put enough John Hurt in the movie, because, you know, his voice does things to you, man. Rip.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, John.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, right, PK. Like the Detroit car industry. That's exactly right. When Seattle, like, without the fucking banking and tech sectors in San Francisco, like, it would basically be a dystopian hellhole that nobody would live in, because they don't do anything.
Nope.
Right? Like, it's not like San Francisco is this giant hub of manufacturing, or this giant, like, they create hypothetical money.
Yes.
Like, that's what all of California's I mean, California has huge farms. They're one of the biggest farming places in the United States, right?
I mean,
so it'll shift.
A question.
Yeah.
You know how the daily work for like a Silicon Valley employees, right? It is just go to quote unquote work, do absolutely nothing, drink fucking margaritas and shit, then just tip on fucking, just go around on Google, search bullshit that nobody's gonna use for anything, and then call that a full day's work. These people have never really worked. They aren't really, well, they're not real people.
Well, a lot of these companies are just so flush with outside investment.
Yes.
Now, I applied for a job, or I interviewed for a job with a company here locally, and they call themselves the Google of the Treasure Valley. And they're a company that does pet stuff. I won't name them. It's a good company. I approve of what they do. I have no ill will towards them. I applied for a job with them and went and toured their campus. And their campus here is like, their building is super nice, first off. And it has a really nice patio, and it has a really nice, it's beautiful.
Okay.
It is one of those fucking adult daycares.
Oh, no.
I mean, and that's not to say they're not productive. You know, that's not to say whatever. But it is one of those places where they pride themselves on giving their employees so much shit. Right. But the thing is, with a lot of companies that do that stuff, like, they have to provide, like, the reason why Google does all that shit, they give you food, they'll feed you there, like, you could live at fucking work.
I mean, that is why they're...
Because they want you to.
Yeah, but it's because that is one of the reasons why so many of them are pod people advocates. Also, hello, Mediger. This is Mediger and Stormy. Hello.
An LGM.
Oh, Martian. Take me to your leader.
We got all the cool kids showing up here.
Yeah. It's because you're here. I'm not cool enough. Oh,
yeah, right.
Yet.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I just hit 69 subscribers. Goal met. Woohoo!
Yep. Here we go.
Nice.
It's time to pack it in.
Yep. It's over now. See you later. Bye-bye.
Gonna make the channel private and call it good.
Yep. All I wanted was that 69. Let's see.
Oh, hey, Malox.
Malox?
Well, my Swedish friend is here.
Hello. Is that the one who gave you the joke you wanted to talk to me
Yeah,
about?
she gave me the jokes.
Okay, alright. The question is though, she's Swedish, right? Are they good?
Yep. I'm
Second,
gonna
can you
look through.
actually read them out loud here? Send me a text first. You never know with Swedes.
Okay. No, here's a good one. Here's a good one. A Swedish hare met a Norwegian hare at the border.
Okay.
Why are you fleeing? Because it's moose season in Norway. But you're not a moose.
Okay, well,
Tell that to the Norwegians.
we'll take that. It is, depending on where you are in Norway, there is this chance that he might have aimed for the moose that totally was there, but accidentally hit that poor little rabbit skipping along. Completely accidentally. And you can't like waste the meat either, you know, that'd just be rude.
How do you sink a Norwegian submarine?
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Or you swim down and knock on the hatch.
That is actually one we do about the Swedes.
Yeah, see, I know, because that's the same thing. We used to say, how do you sink a Polish submarine here? Because for some reason, when I grew up, we really did. We had the Polak jokes. That was the... Like I said, that was the thing. It was like, how do you get a one-armed Polak out of a tree? Do you wave to him?
Yeah, there's a little bit of back and forth. We use the same jokes against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Norwegians, the Danes, and the Swedes. We basically go in a circle around each other, just tapping at each other. The Swedes go hard against the Danes, Norwegians go hard against the Swedes, and Danes go hard against Norwegians. Or sometimes it goes the other way too. It isn't really a set path on all of that. Let's see. Now I'm fucking around.
Yeah. See, that's pretty good. Like, yeah, we tell the... It's kind of like around here with the... It's kind of like around here with the Californians and the Washingtonians and stuff. Except for we legitimately hate the Californians.
Well, I wouldn't describe the relationship
banter
between Sweden and Norway and Denmark as abject hatred. Imagine just three siblings who really are sick and tired of each other's shit, but they know that they can't really live without each other.
Right.
So
yeah, ours is like, it's not the sibling. Like, we don't look at Californians like the sibling. They're like the dirty homeless guy that's knocking on your door in the middle of the fucking night wanting in.
Okay, this is Mediter. Why does the new German Navy have glass-bottom boats? Why does it do that, Mediter?
Why do they do that?
Go on, we're waiting. I'm expecting. So they see the old German Navy.
That's a good one.
Oof, big oof.
That's yeah, that's an oof, but that's a good. I like that.
Yeah.
Why do Norwegian surgeons wear rubber gloves?
Why do what?
Why do Norwegian surgeons wear rubber gloves?
I don't know. Why do Norwegian surgeons wear rubber gloves?
So they don't leave fingerprints.
Huh. Bro, that's kind of cringe.
That's one of the jokes. I'm just reading.
I mean, some of them are good, but some are just so dry. I'm not gonna say Norwegian does it better because we do the same shit. It's like, yeah, we do this level as well. Okay.
That does sound sinister. You're right, Major. That does, like, why do they leave them? So that when they're the police are investigating the horrific murder, or they spliced up their victim in a surgical manner, they will find fingerprints.
I'm not saying we have repressed violent urges, but we might have something like that.
Well, you know, I mean,
You can take the Vikings out of Norway, but can't take the Norwegians out of the Viking or something like that. Whatever.
Potato.
But you got those Viking roots up there in Scandinavia, you know.
Yeah. Little Green Margin says, how many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman? None.
None.
They die when the potatoes are out. We don't want to try and avoid a malpractice suit. I mean,
Right.
ooh, yeah. Oh Lord. Norway is a fun country. It's been a lot of development in a short amount of years. We've been like, in the 80s, we banned fucking Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Oh, that's wild.
Yes.
But like, it's a really religious country, though.
It
I mean,
used to be,
is
it
it
used to
or
be. Nowadays, it's gone the...
or it was?
Like, we were... Norway and America were equal in intensity. It's just that we're 10 years after America.
So, I don't know. I don't know what the... Actually, I don't know what this immigration situation is like in Norway.
We talked about it on the Sultans, and basically I want to keep it there.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
let's just put it like this. We are looking over at Sweden and just maybe we should be a little bit stricter. But yeah, let's keep it up.
Yeah, no, okay. I was gonna say, because the dominant religion in some of those places is about to shift very fucking dramatically.
I know, but that's a subject for Sultans. We can go a little bit political, but not that political.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, man, I'm liking how this is looking, dude. I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you want me to add different shades of color, or is it okay with just different shades of purple?
I think the purple matches with it.
Yeah.
I think the purple will be okay.
Because the idea is that I do another one for the cloak later, right? You know, the ethereal cloak, and I'm thinking about having that one to be sort of like a red that reflects these lights.
That would be dope, yeah.
But I'll do the cloak after I've done the rest of the thingies here.
Yeah. Well, you said you wanted the cloak to be a little ethereal, too. So...
Let's see.
Like a little more, or less opaque, I guess.
Yeah, let's see. Doop-a-doo. Now I'm going to do something Robert Renato hates. Reducing the opacity to get a better look total, but hey, this is my stream and he can't stop me. Let's see.
So if you want to hear jokes, goofy jokes, you could check out, I'm going to do a plug here. You can check out your Comedy Minute with Scotty T.
Just,
he does
just
short,
drop a link in the
of...
description. You should have,
yeah, I'm admin. I'll do that here.
You're adding them in.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I've just finished watching a playthrough of a game called The Lies of P, and holy fucking shit, that game looks sick as fuck.
Right on.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of Koreans, and this is what I see. It's a bunch of Koreans are a real big fan of Pinocchio, and also Bloodborne and Sekiro, and they look at fucking just look, do you think we can do something similar? Yes, bro. Let us try with Pinocchio. Why Pinocchio? I have a good idea. Just watch me, bro.
Yeah, I've heard that game's dope. One of my favorite Elden Ring YouTubers is doing a bunch of videos on it. I haven't really taken the time to watch it.
Yeah, what's it called?
Ziostorm.
I was watching Mythmoose one. He's a Danish Korean.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. The sound you now heard in the ethereal distance was every Swedish person in my chat cringing. It's Danish. Nah, it's not that bad. Well, yeah.
I'll tell you that the drunkest person I've ever seen was a Danish person. so I can't like out in public. The drunkest person I've ever seen out in public was a Danish person.
I mean,
so
they're
I
so
can't,
close to Germany they've inherited that drinking culture.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. You know that the guy who invented the phrase that became "kiss my ass" was a German who was famous for drinking. It's not just famous for drinking. If I remember correctly, he's Goth of the Iron Hand. He lost his hand, like his sword hand, in a tragic, I think it was cannon accident during a siege, in which
Fucking wild.
yes, like the different stories goes. Like there was this during a battle, he had his sword hand raised high to signal, and a cannonball swooped over and took his hand off. While another story says that the cannonball hit the sword, caused the sword to spin around and slice off his hand.
Oh, wild.
Now, him being a knight without a sword hand is kind of a bad thing because, well, what is a knight without his sword hand?
Right.
So his, I think there was his smith, was struck by this strange air of creativity and made two hands for him. One that was able to hold a sword, and another one that allowed him to hold a quill, and he was able to take up his knightly duties again.
Oh, I think I do hear about that.
Yep.
I did hear about that.
Count Dankula has made a video about him. It is honestly one of the funniest fucking stories. And during a siege, because he was playing a bit for different sides during his era, right? During the conflicts of his time. And one side wanted to bring him in. And when they stood at besieging his castle, telling him, "Hey dude, surrender," his response was, "Lick my ass," which then became "Kiss my ass." Lick my arse.
That's boss. That's metal as fuck, dude.
Yeah, and that is the Germans I wish existed this day.
Right.
They're the best.
Yeah.
They are the Chad Germans.
No, I know. We got left with all the. I think they're still Czech Germans. They're just fleeing the country and afraid of being locked up.
I just think that the Chad Germans are there. It's just like Goth with Iron Hand. They just don't want to make too much of a mess or anything because Goth in the Middle Ages became fucking 80 years old, and he did nothing but drink.
Man.
I'm pretty sure the dude was mummified by the amount of alcohol.
They didn't understand cirrhosis back then.
No, but he got to 80 years, and he was a heavy drinker for almost his entire fucking life.
And, but the thing is like for the majority of time, like alcohol wasn't as potent as it is now.
Oh, that's
like we
really
think about that, like it does, but I mean they weren't like distilling fucking whiskey in the, when a lot of these dudes that. Like, you're talking about these hard drinking nobles and knights and shit like that. Like, and someone's probably contradicting me in the chat, and I just walked away. But yeah, they're not. They weren't like slugging down a fucking bottle of Jack every day. Although, probably with the amount of. But again, that was the safest way to get fucking liquid. Yep. You could guarantee that your alcohol wasn't gonna be fucking
poisoned.
It wasn't gonna give you the shits for dysentery.
Yep. But like, even though you still get like from a few glasses of beer every day, it does give you a little bit of a buzz.
Yeah.
And some of the Germans, they really just lay down really heavy liquor too. Like,
right.
There was no machines to measure the strength of the alcohol back then.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, that's true. They didn't have fucking hygrometers and shit to really. Exactly. I mean, they did have like. Oh yeah, I gotta say, Vice showed up here, in the chat.
Hey,
what's up, Vice?
Hello, Venice.
Or Venice, whatever.
Venice.
yeah, Venice.
The thing is, the one in Venice, it is one Ness for you, right? But for our Norwegian, one is en, en, right? En.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You say it with a Norwegian one, Venice.
Now I know. Okay.
Venice is a good guy.
And I think you told me that before too.
Maybe.
Yeah, 1%, drinking 1% beer. Okay, so my homies and I, when we were in our 20s, we'd go camping a lot. And I got a cooler specifically to hold, because it held like 300 fucking cans of beer in it.
Nice.
But we would get what we call camping beer. We would buy Miller High Life because it was only like 3.8. I mean, it says 4% on the can, but that's not really what it's lower than that. And we buy that because you could drink it all fucking day long and not catch a buzz. It was just like, it was the drinking beer during the day. So you put down like a case of this stuff and barely be catching a buzz because it was so low, like the APV is so low.
Yeah.
So, like you're not fucking slugging them down. It's like you're drinking throughout the course of the day.
Yeah, if you got a 0.5%, that is non-alcoholic in Norway.
Yeah. The town drunk didn't fall over after 3 flagons. There you go.
Yeah, they used to town drunk to see. Oh, that was good. Let's see. Yeah,
it's really kind of a smart way to do it if you think about it.
Yep. Let the disposables deal with it first.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So what I'm doing here is just to get the rough details, and then I'll just go over it afterwards.
Word.
Let's see. Venice has just had a car thing going on in his side. He's a bit of a car enthusiast, and when I say a bit,
okay.
I mean a lot. Like, the dude fucking crossed Europe just to go on a Swedish car show.
Oh, wild.
Oh yeah. And he has this own little thing where he has a what's a stevna in English again, Venice? Like an event where a bunch of people come along and just drive around cars in an area.
Oh, like a convoy or a caravan or a cruise?
Not a caravan. They meet up and they drive cars, and it's for car enthusiasts and shit. Just go to his channel. If you're interested in cars and shit like that, just go to his channel. You'll find a kindred spirit there. I'm not big on cars, sadly. I just drive them.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. My brother is autophile. I just drive.
Yeah, I'm not super into cars, but I will. We'll throw his link. There's a link to his channel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an event he does, and it's yeah. It's honestly, Venice is one of the most hardworking people I know. Nothing can keep this guy down, seriously. I've seen some people. Let's see. There we go. Also reminds me, I actually have a Etsy, a merch store. So if you're interested in like tablets, planks, and shit, just drop by there and give it a check. The link is in my description.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I can't look at your Etsy store. I forgot.
Also,
that's so goofy. My VPN blocks Etsy. I don't know why the fuck that is.
Yeah,
but...
I think Etsy just is cringe with that. Also, you have an Etsy too, right?
I do as well. I just dropped a whole bunch of stuff on there. And actually, I got to shout out, like, a huge shout out to Maylock in the chat, because he helped me. So what I did was I had a whole bunch of pictures. Like, I mean, I got a giant fucking stack of shit in the back, right? That is just the stuff that I painted. And I sorted through it and picked out the stuff that I wanted to list. But the problem is like, I need to find, I don't want to just list my shit. I want to link the video of it being made in the list, right? So that requires me go through my videos and find the video that goes with the fucking, find the video that goes with the painting.
Right.
Now, we went through, and I found 140 paintings or something that I wanted, that I thought I could list on my Etsy page. Thought I would be okay to list on my Etsy page. That means I needed to go find 140 fucking videos. Yeah, and so I was really daunted. This was last Friday or last Sunday. I was really daunted and intimidated by the task, and so I was like hesitant on it. But she was like, "Give it to me.
Put me in, coach. That's what I was born to do. And she has fucking crushed it. She's gone through and found so many of them. That's the only reason I was able to list anything on Etsy is because Malox went through and found my videos. I mean, I could have listed them otherwise, but it wouldn't be what I wanted. And so, again, thank you so much, Malox. I love you for doing that. It was
Hell
awesome.
Yeah, Malox. Like 07 to Malox, guys.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Salutes in the chat for Malox.
Yeah. Just like Vayner says, find the right people to help you grow.
Yeah. So, I got tons of stuff listed now.
Hell yeah.
And I changed my pricing scheme on it, because I was listing stuff for like $40 and free shipping. But
how well did that go?
well, I sold somebody something, and it was a gal that reached out to me, and I think I talked about it. I may have talked about it on my stream. I may not have. Whatever. She gave me an idea for something, and I painted it for her, and I'm like, and she's like, I want to buy it, and so I told her, I was like, go to my Etsy and just hit me up, and she did, and I said, okay, I'll give it to you for the cost of shipping, which I thought was usually $30. Last time I shipped something, it was $30. I didn't take into account that it was about 6 inches smaller. So I sold it to her for $30, and the shipping was $39.
Oh,
And I was like, that sucks. But live and learn, and that, which, whatever. I've given a piece of art, and actually I sent her like 3 things, because I have so many things that I'm not selling that's just random. I'm just gonna end up giving that stuff out to people who. So if you buy anything from my Etsy store, you will get at least 3 paintings.
that's nice.
So you'll get the one you wanted, and then 2 random ones that I have in the back that I just want to fucking get rid of, and I don't feel like I could sell them. So, but yeah. So I changed my pricing scheme so that I have calculated shipping on there instead of the free shipping. Which will bump up the price a lot for some things, but then also, you know, I told if anybody wants a coupon, like I am more than happy to sell most things for the cost of shipping, right? Like, because in my estimation, it's far more important that someone have a piece of art that they really admire than I make money off of it. And I know that's a stupid way to look at it if I want to make any money on my art, but
I mean,
yeah. But right now,
it's a virtuous way of doing it at least. But
yeah,
I'm a little bit more of
Yeah,
a kind of person, sadly.
right. And I know the market doesn't reward virtue.
No. Weird, huh?
So, yeah, no, go figure. But that's cool, you know. Like it's like I said, you know, I'm fine with not making a lot of money on. And I understand also that if I do eventually want to make money on shit, like nobody who just fucking makes their first painting sells it for $1 million fucking dollars.
Nope.
And nobody you know, it's not even your 100th painting that you usually make $20 off of.
I don't even remember
You know.
how many fucking paintings or artworks I've done.
Right.
There we go. Now we're looking at something here.
Yeah, I charge the can of a cost to paint. That's a good idea. I also set up my Patreon, but I don't have it completely fleshed out. I'm in the process of doing that, and then I'm setting up a new Discord.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. The problem is, like, I have my my personal Discord, and I have all my boosts on there because I have Nitro, whatever, and so I get a couple of boosts for that. And so my personal server is boosted. I can stream HD. I can do all the shit on that. But I don't want to turn my personal Discord into like the official Discord for my channel because that's where all my real life people are, and that's where that's, you know, I get names and addresses and shit all over that motherfucker. I don't want to, you know, so I'm setting up a new one. Yeah, right. As a PK, give them blank canvases and say money and run. Dude, I learned about an art exhibit that may potentially be even more lame than that.
Or I guess, I don't know, depending on how you think about it. So this dude takes boxes, he takes laminated sheets of glass and makes boxes.
Boxes?
Peace out, OGM.
Bye,
So he
OGM.
makes boxes out of fucking laminated glass, and then puts them in shipping boxes. Like the boxes are the exact same size as a FedEx shipping box, and then he ships them through FedEx from one place to another, and they get cracked and damaged in shipping, and that's the fucking art exhibit.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And I'm like, oh my god. Although I understand the size of things that he's shipping is going to be expensive, but to me that is like some of the most low effort shit on the planet.
Yeah, but you gotta be a. The thing is, it is the tourists and wannabes who buy that shit. They're like, oh,
Yep.
we totally are artistically minded people. We totally
Yep.
are part of the clique, right? So they
Yep.
waste money on pointless shit. That is what modern art is. It ain't art.
Yeah,
Now,
modern
A-
art's a fucking money laundering scam,
Fucking
really.
AI art, like AI generated work, is more artistic
Yep.
than modern art.
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah. Like AI art,
Yeah.
I have warmed up a bit to it, but still, I view it as a tool more than anything else. AI art is the same. Use it like you use a sketch for a finished picture.
hmm Well, and crafting the prompts to get what you want out of AI art is not necessarily an easy thing to do either. Like, that's kind of
No, but
Writing the
it
prompt.
is like again, it's like doing the sketching part, but you can line art a AI picture and go from there. If
Definitely.
If you line art from a AI art picture you've generated, there's no problem in doing that.
Go in and fix all the teeth and hands and shit.
Yeah. Seriously, that's all you need to do. Add
Yeah,
do the
make-
coloring yourself, and suddenly that damn image is yours.
But
Yeah, anyhow, so the majority of modern art is just a money laundering fucking scheme.
It is.
Because what they do is they go to a fucking like a $10 million painting. Oh, I bought this $10 million painting. Like, well, they paid $10 million. They're gonna turn around and donate the fucking thing to some museum and shit, because it's not like they give a fuck about. It's like that was a $10 million tax write-off for them,
Yep.
right? And they can pay for that art with as dirty a money as possible, because a lot of the times they're just paying cash for that shit.
hmm
And the artists don't give a fuck.
He gets paid.
Like me as an artist, fuck, I don't. And if they say, hey, give me a receipt saying I paid with this, yes sir, twice on Tuesday. Like,
Okay.
Like, if I'm already at the point
if
where
somebody wants to pay me like ridiculous amount of money for just doing random shit, sure.
yeah.
Money is money. Well, yeah, kind of yeah. As long as you have no idea where that shit is from.
Hunter Biden art, yeah. The George Bush art.
Oh God, I don't even want to go there. I can't. I will start ranting like a madman. Let's see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just pain. Let's see. So yeah, we're going places with this.
I went to a bachelor party for a friend of mine, a lawyer friend of mine,
Okay.
and he has lawyer friends, and he has very successful and wealthy lawyer friends, and so they got him. The party was at a really super nice like the club the governor dines at kind of place, but it was after hours, or it was before hours. It was in the morning.
Huh.
And we went in there and played board games and just had drinks and food and stuff, and it was rad. It was awesome. But I was just walking around the place and looking at some of the shit they have hanging on the walls, and a lot of it's art that's for sale, right? And a lot of it is, you can tell that really what it is some fucking like super successful executive guy, like some high up executive dude, and his bored ass wife, and he's just humoring her, and she's making some goofy mediocre shit and charging just an absolute fucking boatload of money for it.
Yeah.
And so there was a fucking tapestry. I wouldn't say a tapestry. It was a quilt on the wall, right? And it was kind of cool. But like my grandma had made better quilts than that motherfucking thing, and it was it was $10,000 hanging on the, and I'm just $9,800 for this fucking quilt. It's like not, I mean it's not, it's something you would hang on your wall, but it is like, well, like I would hang this on my wall mostly because it doesn't fit a bed because it's sewn weirdly, but there's really nothing special to it. And other than it was made by some fucking bored rich executive's wife.
Some kind of bored rich bitch wife.
Yeah.
Pain. It's kind of painful, you know. It's just what art has become, or what many people are trying to make it into, because art will never really change out of being art. You know,
right.
As long as the soul of a real art is out there, it's never really gonna stop being what it is.
Right.
Just fucking around a bit with effects here, sorry.
Yeah, no shit. Your violence is life is right. I need to somehow turn myself into a money laundering scheme.
Oh, wouldn't that be fucking nice? Hey, as long as people don't die.
I got something funny about that. When I was growing up, my when I was a kid, my mom married this dude, and he was an okay guy, but he didn't have a fucking real job, right? Like, but he always had money, and so, and when they got married, you know, we moved in together. We moved into this nice house, right? And the guy was always busy, and he was always like trying to do things, like he was trying to buy a restaurant. He was always doing these investments, and they always fell through. Something happened, they always fell through, and he was trying to manage these investments for outside people. And like years later, and I didn't think, I just thought he was, and I asked him, I'm like, before, when I was like, you know, 10, what do you do for a living? He's like, I'm an investment broker. And so, you know, years later, I was talking to my grandfather about it, and my grandpa was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was laundering drug money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense.
Yes.
And you know, he would leave for a few days at a time and go places and see people, you know. He would show up, he would pay for things with $100 bills. I mean, and this was back in the fucking like early 90s and late 80s, you know. So it was a big deal to be doing that. And the funny thing about that, right? If you watch the movie Casino, they talk about some Mormon fuck that came through and got the money.
The Mormon?
For him. Some Mormon fuck that came through and got their money and handled the shit for him. And the dude, the actor they had playing him, looked like my stepdad. And my stepdad was some Mormon fuck that was always traveling around with a lot of, and doing shit with money and like wasting. So it's like, makes me wonder if the dude in Casino was meant to be my stepdad. Because I mean, the timeline I think is not necessarily congruent, but for that movie specifically, you know.
Ever thought about calling him a Mormon fuck then? Just to see his reaction?
Yeah, no, to see if but, you know, I can't say, that's speculation. The Casino part, I mean, it's really all speculation, honestly, but it's kind of something interesting, and my grandpa mentioned that. I think he was laundering drug money, and then that's one of those things because I was a kid, I didn't think fucking about that shit. But, you know, when I got older and he mentioned that and I looked back on it, it's like that Sixth Sense moment when you're like, oh. It's like,
this makes
all of these.
Too much sense.
Yes, exactly. It's like, oh, exactly.
Holy shit, he was a drug hit.
He was a fucking guy laundering money for the fucking, laundering drug money for organized crime.
Or the feds.
Right, yeah.
I mean, well, actually, I just said.
Or the feds.
Organized crime and feds.
Thing.
Yeah, I said the same thing. Sorry.
You repeated yourself.
My bad. Let's see. Let's try 75. That's a good number. Let's try 90. Let's go with that. Let's see. Sorry if I'm not talking much. I'm just looking at the stuff.
I know you're in the zone. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what I'm here is just kind of chat while you're filling the void, do your stuff. So.
Yeah. Boys. Let's.
We'll do another shout out here, plug or whatever though, is that if anybody, and I'm sure most people are familiar with it already, but like if you have not gone to done the 48 Chronicles thing, like if you haven't seen that, that's just so fun.
Oh god, I came by once and I wrote a single sentence and
You blew up the fucking game.
I didn't mean to do that. Let's be fair. You were busy feeding innocents and things to the lake, so I just thought, okay, let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna go until I want to see if it's possible, and yes, it was possible.
I'm surprised that it did that. I'm surprised that it broke it like that. That shit was so funny.
Oh, the lands of light purging the heretics. Like I wrote from the earth, but it interpreted the heretics as the fucking rebels. Holy shit.
I know.
That was.
I was really liking how
we were suddenly becoming Yeah, post the link to it, dude, for sure. If you don't, I will.
I mean, you should be allowed to do that purely because I almost fucking ruined the game. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Abe. I still feel bad for that one.
It was so good.
Yeah, if you want to have like an RP where you can just try and shoot the shit, or even play seriously, you can. Wow, you can get a lot there. I've been with the game like 2 times, and every time just like you will always be surprised over what kind of shit you can get away with.
Right. I mean, we watched it again later because it was so good.
Oh.
Like we had a over and we watched it again later. Here's a link to the specific episode from yesterday.
Give it a watch, guys. It
was so fun. It was so funny.
Oh lord.
Well, I mean, you know, the first time I ever tuned into it, like the very first time I ever caught an episode, like I just clicked on it and then, you know, like it was really serious, and all of a sudden we bust down to a twerking competition.
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
That's a fucking bleach demon kind of thing.
Yeah. I think it was Bobcat, honestly.
Was
I
it?
know Bobcat likes to few.
It could have been Bobcat or some.
You know,
But,
it might be a Bobcat thing. The thing is that Bleach was the one who shared the lore with me, and I was like, okay. Congratulations, Bleach. You are now connected with twerking for the rest of your existence. Oh, Jesus Christ. Music is so fucking cringe. Can I
Well, and... Oh, do what you're gonna do. But...
There we go. Alright, better.
And I really gotta give it... That's such a fucking brilliant... Like, such a creative and cool idea. It is really cool.
What?
So... The 48 Chronicles thing.
Yes,
like,
that is impressive, and I'm pretty sure that he can monetize it a bit better in some ways, but yeah.
I think once it catches on...
Yes.
Once it catches on more, like
He can
yeah, we had a few
monetize it.
people.
He can find different things. Like when he get more followers and people who start like donating to his Patreon, he can have. Imagine having like donators, a stream where donators are the ones who can add to the story, right?
Right.
That'd be cool. Well, or even like for channel members, right? This one is only for channel members to write into. That'd be cool.
Or, you know, I mean, channel members get priority prompts or something like that, right?
I think there should be like 2 different ones. One where only channel members can give votes, and one, of course, where everyone can be. Because the one for everyone is bound to be full of memery. Well, there's a hope if he wants a more serious game, then he have to do it with members he can agree, can like, hey, we're aiming for something more serious here. But I would love to see a more eldritch horror kind of thing. That'd be cool.
Oh man, an Eldritch horror one would be cool as hell.
I mean, it is October. Not wink wink. Based. Based. Huh? Based. 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 Eldritch.
Discord rooms with an AI game master. You know, if if you could get that bot going, you could sell that bot. You could license that bot to Discord servers. People would pay for it.
That
Like, even if it was just a little bit, like someone's like, all you have to do is like, $5 a month to add this bot to your Discord server. People would totally do that.
yeah, that fucking yes, definitely. Holy shit, dude, that would really work out.
Once you get it caught on.
Yes.
But
You know, the system, I don't think AI or the LLMs or whatever are good at. They do need a little bit of babysitting.
A little bit.
You know,
I mean, look what the only
Yeah,
reason it
right.
didn't stop was because based a divine intervention, and still they managed to make it a really good one.
Oh. Well, you know, I mean, we were so bent on being psychopaths and feeding people to the lake. I don't think there was much
No,
choice.
no, I wouldn't
much
call
hope.
you psychopaths. You were religiously devout. You were reborn again religious people. You had found the lady
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
lake and devoted yourself to her hunger.
Which, like, the lake, and I think when things started to go off the rails a bit with that one was when people started injecting things in. Not because it wasn't just telling the knight what to do, but they started injecting prompts that changed the game world. So, because that lake was an invention of the chat,
Yes.
right? That was the board guy said,
I mean,
hey,
I
at
made
the
the
X, you
lance.
find this lake.
You know, I think I got in the lance because Base said that it shouldn't have been possible, but I think I know how I managed to get the lance in. Like, it wasn't a 5D chess thing, but I mentioned the lance to being a gift from the Lady of the Lake, right? And
Yeah.
I guess and since all of this power had been fed to the lake, I guess it kind of made a logical sense.
Yeah, because we had just fed a whole shit ton of people to the fucking lake.
Yes!
And a troll.
The troll, the wanderers, like, they managed to escape you twice, and you fucking got after them and just chased them in. Holy shit.
I told him I was in the room with my son when he was doing that, like, chase him down. I'm like, nah, just leave him alone. Let's go on and do something. And he's like, no, they must fade. And my
Wait, that
boys
was
are
your
sitting
son?
here. Yeah, that was my son.
Holy shit.
Kaiser Carter and the VVR Speedrunner in the chat were my boys.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
sitting
this
here in
style. I like
room.
this style for kids, bro.
Dude, they're sitting here in the room yelling, yes, the lake must eat! The lake must eat! Every time they succeeded, they're like, the lake must eat. It was fucking hilarious.
Looks like you guys have found your new family religion.
I would say it ended up being a really good like family activity in the end.
It's just pretty funny.
Fuck, hey, dude, our next fucking art commission, the lake.
The lake,
Yes.
the red bubbly lake. Ooh.
Yes, let's fucking
Good
go, bro.
idea. All right, I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
Oh man. And I could try to make some kind of bloodied knight. Oh god, it's gonna hurt to try, but fuck it. I mean, I
Do
tried
some
to make it so
horrifying-
that I tried to. Of course, the game ended because it was too slow, but I tried to make it so that the deal with the lake became sort of like a punishment as well,
Yeah.
where the lance would
Well-
immolate your hand, and then the
I-
lady would just come and eat you.
I think what happened was that another part of it was like it had run. That was one of the longer ones I've been in too. So I don't know if that impacted it, but maybe that did. Maybe that had something to do with it too, because it had been running for a long time, and the game's like, all right, we're about to end it. Hey, this is a good way to end it.
Just purge all the heretics from the fucking planet.
All hail the big red bubbly. Aw, that is
Yeah.
adorable. Oh, lovely. Like, I love how you made a new family religion. It's good.
It was so fun.
Are your sons with you out here?
They're yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no, they're they just went to the store. But yeah, my boys live here with me.
Yeah, if
So.
if they listen to the VOD, hello, cultists!
But I doubt they're ever gonna listen to this.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not
I'll tell them
offended.
they got a shout out.
I'm not offended, I swear. Oh, Lord. Good times, though.
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
Yeah,
let's
it was
see.
fun.
I just need to see how far we've gone. No Steam, that's not you. Let's see, how long have we been going for? Oh, almost 1.5 hours.
Yeah, we're an hour and 15 in.
I'd like to think I mean, I've done the sketch, I've done the line art. I don't have much. Yeah, I'm over halfway done. Only thing I got left is like the cape. So I might be able to do this in like under 2 hours.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Finished wedding. What's the difference between a finished wedding and a finished funeral? Finished funeral has one less drunk. That's a good one, Marku.
now you know why the Norwegians, Swedes, and Danes never make fun of the Finns, because we can't beat their own fucking humor.
Yeah, you can't get worse than they are.
No, worse. You just like, no matter how hard we try, the Finn just looks at us. Ha ha. Well, listen here.
Yeah. They're like, you can't shame me.
I mean, we're talking about a people who gives less of a shit about their national day, but gets all up in arms and hyped as fuck when it comes to fucking National Hockey Day or some shit.
Right. Well, you know, the only thing I can say about Finland is a place that is like a tenth the size of Russia that still kind of inspires fear in Russia.
Yep.
It's got to be kind of fucking based.
Let's put it like this. The last thing, during a fucking shooting war, the last thing you want to hear is the woods speaking Finnish. When the woods are speaking Finnish, it is worse than when the sand speak Arabic.
It's like when the jungle starts speaking Vietnamese.
Yes. That is like the meme, you know, the jungle speaks Vietnamese, the sand speaks Arabic, and the woods speak Finnish. And the sea speaks German, but not for the reason you think.
Just from beneath.
Yes. Though it would also be a good scare because, I mean, the Germans, the German submarines were fucking brutal. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
The Second World War was awesome. Like, historically wise, and with the stories you get, Second World War is awesome, though there were enormous amounts of atrocities, but you got so many interesting fucking stories and fables from the Second World War. And
you know, yeah, that's totally true. Well, it was really kind of seemingly one of the last conflicts between the great men of our world.
Yes.
And I think that we have been living in the shadow of those people and their accomplishments ever since then.
Yes.
And that the world of peace that we live in now is a 100% result of their sacrifices.
It is. And our generations, like from the boomers and upwards, it's just been ungrateful. Like,
yeah, I agree.
First of all, it's resentment, and then there's an unwillingness to acknowledge what they did and sacrificed. And I find that disgusting. You should respect, like, the good and the bad. You need to remember and respect it, because yes, there were many evil acts, but respect isn't always a positive thing. You need to even respect bad things, because if not, if you don't show respect to something bad, it will fuck you up.
Right. Well, and I think a lot of the people that are not showing respect, like the boomers and shit, a lot of those people actually they're not the World War II veterans.
No.
You know, they are, again, the people that, the people running America right now in Congress are not, they never served in World War II.
Nope.
Like, World War II is what their parents did. And they don't remember the sacrifices of their parents, and they sure as fuck don't honor them.
I mean, they don't have a concept of what life means, because, hell, I'm just going, I'm gonna be one fucking proper political statement from me. Politicians aren't people. Career politicians aren't people, and they never will be. As soon as you become a career politician, you cease to be human. And if anyone listening here is a career politician, you know it's true.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think the likelihood of us, we respect. Well, you know, it's like the populace doesn't even respect the politicians. The only people that respect politicians are the politicians.
No, not even them. They just look for look for a way to one up each other. Like, politicians today in democracies, in anything, it's just aristocracy with a new name.
Right.
Because
Well,
they
what I'm
look
saying
down
is that
on
the
you.
only
They
people
think
that
they're
hold
better
them
than you.
exactly, and the only people that hold politicians in any sort of regard is other politicians. Like everybody else regards them with contempt and disgust.
Yeah, but they even
The only
regard
people
each
that are
other
really
with contempt.
willing to they do, and that should tell you everything you need to know about politicians.
Yes, every
They all know their own
quote-unquote
pieces of
friendship.
shit.
Yeah, every friendship they have is one of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when I say politician, I mean the career ones, the Pelosi's, the Bidens. Like, look at those freaks and look how their families are. They don't have a family cohesion. It's just dislike, distrust, and looking for the quickest way to backstab each other.
Well, they're like racketeering organizations. You know, so many of like the modern political, like, I mean, like the Pelosi family, like, the only reason that guy's married to her is so that they can both make a lot of money.
Yes, and they have.
You know?
And of course, when they do it, like, we've had the same kind of shit in Norway with Erna Solberg. She's the leader of the fucking quote-unquote conservative party here in Norway. Just another EU whore. Fat bitch. Ugly dude. Fuck her. Backstabbing bitch. Anyway, her husband has done the same fucking thing as Pelosi. But just because he's the fucking well, actually the wife of that bitch, because no fucking way that dude has a dick. Anyway, that cuckaroo is going to get his ass saved by his mommy politician because he's the fucking wife of Erna Solberg. And yes, I am calling the husband a wife because no fucking way I'm talking about that dude as a man. And it is just how it is. They live by their own world and own rules. Honestly, I think we should have had some kind of Senate guard on all like in every sort of grand political archive. You know the Praetorian Guards about the Roman emperors? Because if they got too far in line, the Praetorian Guard was more as a failsafe than an actual guardian, so to speak.
Well, that's exactly what the Turkish military was. And it wasn't until, because Turkish military, like, there was a coup in Turkey a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Right? It was meant to depose because the government is not a religious organization, and it's not meant to be a religious organization.
I have no idea about Turkey, but it's like.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's meant to prevent the military in Turkey, like by charter, is meant to prevent Turkey from becoming an Islamic state. But the failed coup that just happened, like the poorly and like fake orchestrated coup that just happened, totally removed that, because now all the fucking leading military officials that should be in charge of safeguarding the government from, you know, becoming overly Islamic, they've all been subverted.
Yep.
So,
Cuckaroo.
Yep.
So yeah, sorry for going on a tangent.
That's a distraction right there. Yeah, another tangent.
But yeah, I just hate them, all of them. Like, there are no actual career politicians I respect. Like, there are a few, if I meet them, I would have a chat with them, but most of them they just earn my abject hatred after the fucking 2020 to 2022 era.
Oh.
We cannot name drop that here on YouTube. But know this, that is the thing that made me despise them. And I'm not going to say any more than that.
They've burned a lot of goodwill. This term, this presidential term, has lost a lot of goodwill from the constituency, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, didn't the fuckers end up with Yeah, he actually forgave like millions in student debt, didn't he? And even that won't be enough to save his ugly ass.
Oh no, it's not. It's not going to do anything. And that, yeah.
Too many dead family members, dude. That's what I'm saying.
It's just absurd.
Yeah.
Like, our political landscape is so absurd, and it really makes me curious how. Because I always look back at this, and like, I look back at this as an analog of the Weimar Republic and like what's going to happen in pre-World War II Germany. like the lead up to World War II, and that the economic collapse, and then like the not the balkanization necessarily, but like the kind of gross and
it is the humiliation
political
of the people
fucking...
that will drag them to extremes. That's the thing. If
Yeah.
you humiliate a people
Yeah.
too much, and like the people we call the leftoids, those are the cultists. These are the people who will bend the knee for anything. These are the people who have learned to endure and embrace the humiliation, like a freakish kink more than anything else. But actual people, the normal people, the people who are in the highest number, they can only be obfuscated for so long. And in the end, when the eventual eye opening, like now I sound like some kind of weirdo here, but whatever.
Yeah.
When that happens, consequences could go from anything from a mild slap on the wrist and like, okay, now we're just dragging it back and going to normalcy, or if you're like really unfortunate, the blowback might get more extreme, which I fucking do not want. I just want to sit down and relax, enjoy my life, work up a fucking pension, and then pension myself, hopefully with a family. That's all I fucking want.
And I don't think the majority of people that are buying into that bullshit are doing it. They're not malicious, obviously.
No, but
I think
there's a strong sense of useful idiocy.
They're useful idiots, but I think a lot of them they're useful idiots, like by definition. But if looking at them personally, I think a lot of them are just doing that because they are as desperate for things to change as everybody else. Absolutely desperate. They just don't believe. They're believing the wrong people. Is really what it is. They're putting their faith in the people who have actively worked to get them where they are now.
Yeah, these people
like,
are the ones
right.
who would put on the brown jackets. Let's put it like that.
Well, you just comply harder and everything will be fine. If everybody just complied, if everybody just went along, we'd be fine. It's like, well, no.
Yeah, well, that was in 1940.
Fam. Right? Like, I'm not going to fucking comply.
No.
And if the success of this endeavor is based on everybody complying, it's going to fail.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to fucking comply. A lot of people aren't going to fucking comply. And no matter how much villainization no matter how much you fucking call people horrible names because they refuse to take some government mandated fucking medical experiment. Yeah.
We're not unruffled.
Some stuff. Nope.
Yeah.
But regardless, if you, in any way.
Yes.
Right, like let's say the government just came up with a new cancer vaccine. And it happened when they put out the anthrax vaccine in the early 90s. There were a bunch of soldiers. My mom was living in 29 Palms, where like this huge military base is. And she told me there were a lot of civil soldiers then that refused to take the anthrax vaccine. And were discharged as a result of it.
Of course.
But it's different when they're doing it to the military because the military have tacitly given themselves way to the government. Or when they start forcing it on regular people. And then again, if the whole fucking thing is predicated on everyone complying, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, the age of reason in the West, we're heading into we're in the times of weak men, and the weak men are creating these hard situations that like the ultimate solution to these situations is probably going to be a catastrophic war that dramatically shifts the face of society as we know it.
We're either entering the pre-Starship Troopers age, during the
right.
war before the Federation was made, or here's the funny thing: I'm starting to see more correlations with Dune than anything else. The
Dune in 40K.
Yeah,
Yep.
No, not Dune in 40K. 40K is just memery in its own way.
Yeah.
Do you know the Butlerian Jihad? You know the reason why they stopped using machines in Dune?
Oh yeah, because men. Oh, dude, I love Dune.
Yes.
Dune's my jam.
This is a funny thing. It is fucking. It's a book about prescience, right? And the fucking thing is so fucking prescience because we are entering the Butlerian jihad era, where the people controlling the AIs and machines are the ones who they were the ones. It wasn't just free AIs, right? Who suddenly they didn't just Skynet.
Right.
It was people behind the AIs.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was men with machines controlling other men.
Yes, and that's
It
how,
wasn't.
and that's why they stopped, using machines themselves, because it became
Yeah.
a chain, a shackle for them to live by. Like,
Right,
the
and if
only
you really
ones-
drill down on the whole theory of the Butlerian jihad, like the lore, it wasn't that. It's that people became too reliant on the machines,
yes.
and it wasn't that the people were necessarily like, it wasn't like a guy with a fucking death ray. What it was the people became too reliant on the machines, and there were nefarious guys that controlled the machines that too many people were reliant on.
Yeah, and they also
them to
used like machines similar to how battle
Yeah.
droids in Star Wars, right?
Yes.
Exactly like that. So the people started using knives in order to fight away, in order to become, because
Well,
the machine.
no, there was more to that because it was the sword play was because of the shields.
Yeah, but it was not just because of the shields. It was also because of how the machines would calculate the trajectory in many ways. Like, of course, every time the shield was active and someone used a fucking last pistol. Well, I mean, come on. It's like,
Well,
there's a 50-50 chance of the gun exploding, the fucking okay, there's a 100% chance, but there's
Yeah,
a
both
50-50
things are gonna
chance
explode
of
in a
either
nuclear-
one of the two things exploding into a nuclear bomb or both.
well, and the problem with that really was that it didn't matter if it was both or if it was one or the other, or it didn't matter if it was one or the other because the explosion from either one was going to encompass both.
Yes, but the worst one was like,
So-
I mean, the risk, regardless of what exploded. I mean, the worst one was when both went off, because then you'd have twice the fucking power. But if one fucking
Right.
exploded, that was fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the atomic, did have nukes back in those days too. In those days.
Yeah,
too.
they had it.
That's how they broke
They had
the shield
atomics,
wall.
but but that was like, atomics were forbidden for use,
Yep.
like kind of like they are now.
Yes.
You weren't stone burners. You weren't allowed to use stone burners and stuff because they were such dangerous and powerful weapons that, like, basically the use of them wide scale would destroy all of humanity.
Yeah, and also here's the fun fact. You know, you were allowed to use atomics for one reason. Do you
Or
remember
for
that?
defense.
No.
It was defense, wasn't it?
No,
Or
no,
what
no.
was
You're
it?
not allowed to use, regardless of the situation, you're not allowed to use atomics. I mean, not even the fucking Harkonnens would break that rule.
Hmm.
The only time a human could use atomic weaponry was when an outside intellect attacked. So
That's
they
right.
had fucking plans in case there was like alien invasions and shit.
Well, and it really bums me out that Herbert died
Oh yeah.
before he finished, because the last book is so good. And the abomination of shit that his son and Kevin J. Anderson have fucking turned that shit into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's sort of. You can look at it the same way that I look at Disney Star Wars. It's just there.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I definitely could see us going into the Dune universe. You know, like switching into that.
I'm a real big fan of like the Ixians and Playlaxu, because to me, I view it like this: the Ixians, they're the remains of the techno powers back in the day. Because oh no, I can imagine that the people that became the Ixians were like, oh, we swear we were just doing what we were saying. We are necessary to you. We can give you much technology. Yes, I promise. Right.
Right.
And the Tleilaxu is just, well, they evolved. They're basically the Ixians, but on a separate, on the opposite side of the scale. Because
But
both
Tleilaxu are
represent
they're extreme eugenicists.
not just extreme eugenicists, but like they take genetic modification to an extreme. It's again,
Oh right, yeah.
yes, the Ixians take the machine to the extreme. The Tleilaxu takes the organic to the extreme. Like the main enemy of the Dune universe, because Frank Herbert did actually envision sort of a Terminator-like future, right?
Yeah.
But that was
Yeah.
like the event will happen, but the extinction of humanity would be averted after God Emperor of Dune. That was sort of
Well,
like
well-
Leto the Second's master plan.
It was Heretics of Doom
No,
was where he unveiled that. Where, yeah,
yeah,
where
he
unveiled
unveils it,
that.
but you get the details in the God Emperor.
Right.
book. That's when he explains
Yeah.
the situation.
Feature of humanity that's immune to prescience.
Yes.
That was the whole purpose of it. Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah,
a
we're-
Nixian machine that did it.
My boy and I are going through the Audible books. We're on God Emperor now. We're not quite to the. we're almost to the fucking best parts, but man, these books are so good.
Hello. I know.
It was it's a tragedy that that guy died
But
before
the thing is,
finishing
though,
that series.
but not when you think about it, because I was watching this one YouTuber dude. He's called what was it called? The Ideas of
Ideas of Ice on Fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ideas
Quinn,
of Ice and
Quinn's ideas now.
Yeah, Quinn's Ideas, right? And
Mhm.
he went through the Dune ending, like the final book of Frank Herbert, because it seemed like Herbert knew that there was a large possibility he wouldn't outlive, that he wouldn't be able to finish the series. So he made that last story sort of as an ending, because you could say that the last two characters are sort of a self-insert of his wife and himself, just
Mm.
discussing the future of things, like, yes. And it, in a way, and thanks to Quinn's Ideas, I have basically just accepted that as the end of Dune, because while it's not a perfect conclusion, it is a conclusion.
Oh,
It is
God,
an
it's
open-ended
so
one.
much. It's so much better than the other shit that they wrote.
Ultra
about-
Spice.
Ultra Spice. Oh,
I mean,
Fuck, that makes me
the
wanna-
resurrection of fucking Harkonnen and him having a 1v1 with fucking
yeah.
Paul Atreides. Okay,
I mean,
kind of cool.
Paul
kinda cool.
Atreides, Gola.
I mean, everyone is a fucking Gola. Immortality
Yeah.
for all.
They just went. Yeah, this is too much. This is too much.
Yeah.
Ultra Spice. Just the name Ultra Spice. That's so fucking cringe. It's such a stupid name.
Might as well have fucking called it Unobtainium.
Oh,
You know,
hey.
like, or here, we're gonna call this fucking MacGuffin Spice. That's what we're gonna call it.
Honestly, it would be a more fitting name, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that was a bit too strong.
Olden Spice. Oh,
Oh, God. There we go. No,
the Olden Spice.
the Elden Spice. Bomb. Turns out Dune is Elden Ring all along.
Oh no, it's Old Spice. And then it turns out that actually we're in the future, and Old Spice is the scent of actual melange. So that's where we got the scent of Old Spice, was from melange. There you
Yes.
go.
Yes, there we go. It turned Old Spice basically fermented in a can, and a worm got into it and ate it, a regular worm, and then it dried up and turned into a massive fucking sandworm. There you go.
Turned into a trout, a sand trout.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta huff enough of the fucking stuff, and you can fly through space and time.
There we
That
go.
was brilliant. Rub enough oil on you.
I mean, the idea of fucking spice is so cool. But then again, you can also thank Frank Herbert for like inventing so much, for so much shit being invented, like Star Wars, Star Trek, and not to fucking
Oh.
mention, like, hadn't it been for the books of Dune, Alejandro Jodorowsky would not have tried to create his Dune, which in turn would not have been, it wouldn't have created sci-fi as we know now, right? Alejandro Jodorowsky is the unacknowledged father of sci-fi, because after his movie wasn't made, but he did deliver like a fucking comic book of like 2,000 drawings, right? Scene description, everything.
Man.
And he distributed along all the larger studios, so they could like use it for ideas.
That's cool.
Yes.
I still have to watch that. I haven't watched that documentary. I need
That
to.
documentary is fucking awesome, and it's like, wow. But thanks to that documentary, I found one of my favorite comics, known as the Meta Barons. Now that, my dude, is have you ever thought that you could experience acid while reading a comic book?
I mean,
That shit's whack, yo.
If I really wanted to, I could make that a reality.
Yes. There you go. Weed Lamau.
Go orc.
There you
For
go. Oh man, seriously, if you want a really good comic book, just The Bond is in a known as Meta Barons by Alejandro Jodorowsky. It is, I mean, the Jodorowsky's Dune is a fantastic documentary, and his comic book, the Meta Barons and the Incal, fantastic fucking stories. It is spaced as fuck, and it's all the way out there, so far out there, you need the fucking Hubble telescope to fucking read it properly sometimes. But it just, if you're willing to just lay down and immerse yourself, you're going to have one hell of an experience. There's not a single chance in hell that shit will be made into a modern series properly.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit. It's just too much.
All right, off there for a second. I'm kind of to the point where when I was younger, I always thought like, yeah, it would be really cool for this to be a series, for this to be made, for this comic book or whatever to be made into a TV show. But now that I'm older and I see what an absolute shit show most of those things are, I fucking don't want them to.
Exactly.
I don't want you to leave that fucking shit alone.
I still have, every time I read a good book or listen to a good audiobook or see something like that, I always imagine how you can make a good series out of it. The thing is, you need to give it to someone who is dedicated to the purity of the story. Like, Peter Jackson in the first Lord of the Rings movies, right?
Yeah.
That's what you need. Someone like Peter Jackson back in the day. He made Lord of the Rings for Lord of the Rings fans. Right? And both him and Ian McKellen, like, the only one who outread fucking Peter Jackson was Ian McKellen. It was like, no, Gandalf will do this. No, Gandalf will do this. And they had fucking nerd offs on fucking set. God, I want that. If I can hear about some people going that way, just like to the director and actor, just both having a book of the source material, like, no, this happened, no, but it's like this, and they just start discussing and arguing over what is the best way to introduce this into the screen. That is the movie I want to watch. Sorry.
Yeah. No, fucking sorry. No, you're exactly right though, dude, because those are people that actually care about the thing, and the reason why you want to see a fucking adaptation of it on screen is because you care about it so much.
Yes.
And I think that in a way, people's desire, obviously, people's desire to have shit shared on screen like that is, it is because you love something and you want other people to love it in the same way you do.
Yes.
And which is a hard thing to capture because nobody's gonna love shit the same way you do.
That's true.
And so it's hard to nail that. It's hard to get that to capture the essence of what people loved in a show.
Yes, that is fucking true.
So
let's see. Before I go for the ice, I'm going to do the cape.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I like how that head's looking.
Yeah. So, that's actually... Huh. You know what?
Yeah, do you want some other?
Was that your kid? I hear silence now. Probably was his kid.
Sorry, my boys just got home from they just got home from the grocery store.
Yeah.
They were offering me a tasty beverage.
Nice. Hey Dad, you want some? That's what I heard.
And I flipped my mic really quick.
Well, tell your son that the Landsgiver sends the greeting to the lake feeders.
My guy says the The lance wielder extends his greetings to the lake feeders. You guys were feeding the lake.
We'll do it again, huh?
Yep, that's what he said.
Based.
Do that again.
Oh, you're such a cool.
Oh. They're pretty good. They're pretty great.
Oh man, I don't do shit like this with my father. He has no interest in anything like that.
Yeah, it's just because I'm a big child myself.
Well, I mean,
so.
based. Let's see. Okay, it's an idea. Let's see. So what I did while you were probably not watching, I clipped out the area around the mask. Right?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So if I do like this, I have an idea though, and it might work, it might not work. I give it a 50-50 chance.
Let's see.
There we go. Not that double one. There you go. Let's see how it turns out. Go. Yeah, I fucked up again. Of course I did. That was my this.
That was it there. Okay.
See, I can do right. I promise. I'm not retarded. Well, slightly. Let's not talk about details, eh? Let's not point fingers. Let's see. So. Oh yeah, now we're talking. We're getting somewhere. Let's see. Color dodge looks pretty good. Or if I do this. Ah. Yeah, something like this, maybe? Yeah, we can start with this.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see, but I'm gonna do a little bit more with the cape. Let's see. Now, if I do this. I just love messing with the different effects. Now, I'm going to do this one afterwards. And I do this. What do you think?
Nah, that looks dope. Put the swirl in there.
There you go.
And just sketch and turn his knobs and nipples.
That's one way
That
of
might,
looking at it.
dude. That would actually be a pretty hilarious monster to draw. An etch a sketch monster.
Jesus.
Oh god.
Let's see. Yeah, let's go like this. Yeah, that works. What do you think?
Oh yeah, no, that looks dope, dude. The like kind of the darker swirl.
Yes, and these here. Let's see. Can I do it like this maybe? By the way, I'm wondering, what is your opinion of mythology? Do you have any favorites?
I used to really love mythology. Honestly, I did. I loved Greek mythology, and when I was a kid, I played a lot of role-playing games, right? And I had one that was like it was for Rifts, was the thing I was playing, but it had like a source book about with a lot of information about mythology and like mythological creatures from all sorts of different like it had some Hindu mythology stuff in there, and it had like Eastern mythology. It had all sorts of crazy shit in it.
Right.
And so I think mythology is really neat, honestly.
Yeah.
I find it interesting. I don't know if I have because I don't specifically know a ton about it, so I can't say I have a specific flavor of it necessarily, but yeah.
I mean, it's to me, of course, it is quite obvious. I'm Norse mythology all the way, whoop whoop. But I also have a weak spot for Greek mythology.
Yeah, well, I mean, Greek mythology is kind of like Western mythology.
Yes.
Right. Like, I mean, even though Norse mythology is probably like as ancient.
Yeah.
Right. But we do. I think we tend to. I mean, as Westerners, I think we tend to identify more with Greek mythology.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I like that where it's really dark.
Let's see. I have an idea first. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. There we go.
Oh, cracks. Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Then we can do this one maybe.
Cracks on the eyes too. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I'm like a big one for Norse mythology and Greek mythology, and
Yeah.
I've always wanted a series. Like, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but like, if I had the money to do, like, fuck you money, to do whatever the fuck I want, I would have been producing a series of fucking Norse mythology.
Yeah.
And basically, like, that would basically be just a magnum opus of my fucking life. And like, I've already gone through many days. Like, I'm a fucking chronic daydreamer, dude.
Yeah.
So, like, many things I've already gone through. I haven't written down much, but like, already imagining a series, I would have called it fucking Yggdrasil. Like, you know, Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
And from there, just made it a series from the beginning to the end. Now, this would be like the most openly one, which includes the Christian editions. So it would be from Ginnungagap to Ragnarok, and it would be basically about each of the Eddas, so each of the 11 main sagas of Norse mythology. At least that's how far I would have gone.
That sounds cool.
Yep.
If I had fuck you money, I would get a polar bear and a tiger, and I would make them fight and see which one won.
I think the polar bear would win, dude.
I think so, but I would still like to see. And then I would go for a polar bear and a saltwater crocodile.
Still, polar bear would win, dude.
Yeah.
Saltwater crocodile.
What?
Nah, no. It had to be a really deep pool. Seriously, the polar bear is.
Yeah, they swim really well.
It's not just that, but the polar bear is the closest thing to a perfect predator you'll find. They are just pure meat eaters. They don't fuck around. It's like,
yeah.
You existing is already. I mean, just you breathing has put you on the hit list.
Or a polar bear and a grizzly bear. You know?
No, it's not even.
I would love to see. I would call it endangered species matchup.
Yeah, but okay. The thing is,
Survival
as
of the
soon-
fittest.
as
We're gonna
soon as
find
you
out
put- as
which
soon as
fucking.
you put the polar bear there, you already have a winner. The polar
Well,
bear.
yeah, but then what if I have a rhino fight? A rhino fight a polar bear? That would be cool.
Okay,
but you know, I
that would
mean,
be something, but they wouldn't be fucking around with each other because they both know they fucked the other one up. The only way you could have a challenge for a polar bear, or actually a polar bear would be defeated, if you put a fucking hippo there. Because nothing can fuck with a hippo.
a hippo versus a giant saltwater crocodile. I would
Dude,
want to see that
That
fight.
has already
Yeah.
happened. That has already happened. The hippo murders the crocodile.
But it would be cool to watch it.
You
That's all I'm
can-
saying.
You can
If I was
watch it.
really rich,
Dude, there's
even if I knew
videos
the
out
outcome-
on YouTube. There's videos out on YouTube of crocodiles being maliciously mauled by hippos. Hippos.
oh
are-
right.
Yes, hippos are the most evil fucking creatures on the planet.
No, I get that. But I didn't get to see it firsthand, and that would be the point. If I was really rich, I would make that shit happen for me. I would not be a force for good for the environment if I was extremely wealthy.
Again, who the fuck would be? Ooh, okay, now we're talking.
Oh. Hey, Malox is asking, did you guys have to write runestone verses when you were in school?
Sadly not. It kind of pisses me off because we have this retarded language that is a combination of every accent in Norway, every dialect in Norway, merged into one called New Norwegian, and it is less popular than fucking bokmål. Now you gotta fuck up real hard to become
right.
less popular than that.
That's right, Medger. You're right. Animal celebrity death matches.
Yeah, that'd be fucking interesting, alright?
This is Harambe's son, and he's gonna be fighting a fucking.
The son of Harambe
He's
versus
gonna be
polar bear.
fighting this
I'm
fucking-
sorry already. No need to place bets. The
boa
polar bear will win.
constrictor, right?
You know, you could just call it "Who Can Kill a Polar Bear." That's it.
How many gorillas does it take to kill a polar bear? That would be cool. I mean,
Gorillas don't
goddamn.
fight. They only defend
Not in groups,
themselves.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That would be how large of a troop of baboons does it take to take down a polar bear?
You know
That because baboons are pretty fucking fierce,
Yeah, they're
right? Like if there was
fierce,
enough
but-
of them.
Yeah, it was enough of them. The thing is, when you have enough baboons, for the baboons to have the balls to take on a polar bear, there's enough of them to
Yeah.
actually kill the polar bear. But
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
need
exactly.
a lot of them, like maybe 10 baboons at least.
You need a whole Calcutta's worth of baboons to take down a fucking.
What is a Calcutta?
Oh, that's a city in India where there's lots of monkeys. Oh.
Alright. So, my garbage Indian aside, let's see. I'm going to see if I can do the shiny thing.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Maybe not shiny, but more like a sort of a seething thing going on. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, like energy emanating out from the cracks of the mask,
Basically.
from the cracks of the cover,
Yep.
it's pouring out.
Good work, good work. You never know unless you try, comrade. Let's see. Let's try this, and can I fuck around with this? Oh, well, okay. Whoa. Huh.
Purple glow on there. Yeah, that was cool.
That's a bit different. So if I do that and this. Yeah, they zero each other out. So it's a little bit about. Let's see.
Kind of interesting, the different filters here. I mean, not kind of. It's really interesting, the
Oh, yeah.
different filters.
It's I like to do this. It's a lot of fucking fun. Oh, that could work. So if I do like this, maybe?
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Now, I gotta try something else. Normal first, and let's see, what kind of red are we going for here? It works.
Yeah, I like the cape. I think the cape
Yeah.
looks cool. Like that was a good. It's got a cool texture to it.
Yeah. The funny thing is a hair texture, but I like to use it for like fire and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, since there's a lot of red here. Just
Yeah,
add
throw some red
particles
glow on
of
him.
Red. Particles, you know. A different kind of gate guardian. I just love the construction pencil, man. It is such a satisfying thing to use. Sort of like the coral from Armored Core. You have played it, right?
Man, I need to get more into it because I haven't been. Yeah. I haven't been gaming that much lately. And lately, when I've been gaming, I've just been playing League with my boys.
Oh, that's cute.
So.
Wow, you actually managed to play League with your boys without actually removing them from your will?
Well, I mean,
Ah,
they're
okay.
much better than I am. I can't. They're carrying my ass through every fucking game. I'm not gonna.
I mean, fair.
It's a. Yeah.
So do this. Ba-ba-doo, ba-ba-dee. I'm just doing a little bit of those red things around. Giving a little.
Yeah.
Sort of like a malicious look, right?
Yeah. Give them kind of that red glow. Kind of matches with the. It'll match with the red glow of the background from those
That's kind of
the
the
obelisks
plan.
there. Yeah.
Now, if I do this one and I add this one. Too much maybe, or kind of.
Yeah, I like it.
Just to see how it looks, because I like fucking around with things. I'm fucking around, and I usually find out as well.
Yeah, right.
Usually. Not every time.
Well, you know, that's the fortunate part about digital art is there's always an undo.
Yep.
You always got that Control Z.
Yep.
That's like crackling with red energy now.
That's kind of the plan, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm making some rude additions to your stuff as well. Sorry.
Nope, you're cool, dude. You're cool. It's got a match,
Yes.
so I like that. Oh, dude, those look fucking rad.
Yes.
Those red. Oh, that gives me an idea.
Yep.
I gotta make a stencil.
Alright, so I guess we're doing not maybe that. Like, what do you think? Just the cracks, or do we add the particles as well?
Man, I like them both. I like it both. I like it both ways. It's hard for me to tell.
Heyo.
Um,
I know, low blow, but I can't help it. Okay.
man,
I hit 69 subs. Okay.
I walked right into it.
Right. So, I'm kind of a fan of the particles. Not gonna lie. I like
Yeah,
the particles.
I do. I think I like it better that way.
Let's see.
That looks really good.
Let's see. And of course, and the lightning. Just, do you want it like out like this, or do you want it a little bit more subdued?
Yeah, make it. I like that. Crackling, the obelisks crackling with lightning too. Oh,
Yeah. So like
that looks fucking rad.
on 75 like this, or 100%.
Man, I think do the 100%. Let's leave it like that. That looks dope. So that they're like really fucking crackling. It shows the whole thing has a lot of is like crackling with power. That's kind of how it looks like.
Yeah, and it just goes over the others. Maybe I can do a little bit on the others. Wait, I got an idea. Let's see. Wow, 45 layers only. Damn.
Wow, only 45 layers.
Let's see. Do this. And do this. Give me a minute.
It's one monster, and you get it for 1 round.
They're doing some D&D stuff.
Oh yeah, they're talking about D&D stuff in the background.
Nerds.
We've got to talking about our Pathfinder campaign.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I'm doing this.
So like something pack rats will summon you 1 rat, like 1 pack of rats for 1 round.
Yeah. My son's playing a rat character.
So
And-
he's a Skaven. Yes, the best.
Yeah.
character. The best race. Ah, there you go. So along with the lightning, we're adding a little bit of like a sort of a emanation of the obelisks themselves.
Yeah. That looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's how we're doing it, I think. If you're happy with this, then
Yeah.
I'm fucking happy with this.
Oh yeah, man, I'm happy with that. I think that looks rad as hell.
Also add another layer of melted cheese. I like my
Yeah.
cheese, bro. I like my cheese.
Fucking measure.
Speaking of
That's
which, I have
hilarious.
fucking home smoked cheese, which I'm gonna eat after
Oh.
this. Yeah, my PP,
Damn, dude.
my personal trainer, we became friends along as we started working out together. So we ended up started like sharing things. I'm making like this sugar-free vanilla fudge because he's diabetic and I'm on low carb. So basically, I'm making these roasted salted almonds, and I'm also making this sugar-free vanilla fudge. And he's making this delicious low-carb bread, but also he makes like these smoked cheese and meats. It's fucking amazing, dude.
That sounds good, dude.
Oh yeah. So, are you? I'm gonna see how long are we doing this for, like.
Oh man, we've been at we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes, I think, or
Damn.
right at close to 2 hours. So
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
and
spent
I'm
a
doing
little longer with this one than the previous one, but then again, there was a bit more things to do, I believe.
yeah, well, and we just got kind of lost in the conversation too. Worked out well.
That's half the fun, dude. So yeah, are you happy with the Gate Guardian?
Oh, for sure, dude. I'm thrilled with how this turned out. I
Yeah.
think.
Also took a few
So-
more liberties with the background this time as well.
Yeah. I think this one needed it a little more, right? Like, cause that background, that really ties the whole scene together. Just putting that little bit on the back,
Yeah.
and it makes the dude crackling with the energy like a more coherent piece of the
Yeah.
background.
Because
So,
the problem with the drawing here is that I couldn't make it fit the background well. So by doing like the cape and also the energy there, I managed to tie it a bit more with the background.
Right.
At least that's how I feel. It's up to the people who view here in the the viewers here who are either looking or reading when they see the images.
Right.
Ha! Thank you,
Yeah.
Meteor. Man.
Yeah, man, I think this is awesome.
Yeah. This then I guess it's safe to say that our second art commission is concluded. Our art commission.
Yeah.
Our second art collaboration is hereby concluded.
Indeed.
Yeah. Thank you for
So-
thank you for doing this with me again, dude. It was a lot of fun. I'd love to do it again.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. We're gonna have to set up a time to do it
Yeah.
before you head back out to sea.
Yeah, we gotta try. Depending on tomorrow, we might see if I either leave this Saturday or if I get some extra days. It all depends on the private side. We'll see.
Bird.
Things happen, always.
Awesome.
Well, with that, guys,
Awesome.
I will say thank you for joining us here. I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you, Total Blackout Painting / Fat Dave, for joining us here. Fan arts. Oh, you want to do a fan art thing later? Maybe.
I'm down to do a fan art thing.
Oh, we will. We just need to figure out what the hell to do. So, like,
Yeah.
in the art, you can do like in the art check or in the art wall on Sultans for the people who are. I'm pretty sure most of you are there. Just go on the art wall if you have any ideas and just tag both me and Dave, and we'll take a look at it.
Yeah, for sure. I love getting suggestions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anytime. Like, feel free to fucking shoot me a personal message on Discord and say, hey, can you try to make this? And I will fucking gladly try for you.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I love you folks. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for having me again, Trym. This was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun, man. This is rad.
It was my pleasure, dude. I loved every second of it.
Word.
And with that, I now hereby, with all the power invested in me, because I can click a fucking button, I will now conclude this art collaboration when I can learn to speak. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for joining by, and I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone.